Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. I'm so pumped to have you here today. If you are a focused learner looking to just cut right through the noise and get straight to the facts, well, you're in the exact right place. Look, we all know building a home gym can be honestly a daunting, expensive, and incredibly space-consuming puzzle. So today, we're going to break down exactly how the FitPlam 5-in-1 adjustable dumbbell set attempts to solve that whole headache. We'll be looking closely at its brilliant features and, yeah, its undeniable flaws. Right out of the gate, let's just reveal the overall verdict. Based on our source material, this system earns a very solid 4.0 out of 5 stars. Now, establishing this up front tells us a lot, actually. It tells us this is a highly capable, effective piece of fitness equipment. But that missing point, it means it's definitely not perfect. It's built with a very specific user in mind, and by the end of this explainer, you're going to know exactly if that user is you. Okay, so here's our quick roadmap for today's analysis. We're covering versatility on a budget, what makes it great, downsides you must consider, pro tips for your workout, and finally, the big question, should you buy it? Let's dive right into Section 1, Versatility on a Budget. This is the core concept of the FitPlam set. So what's the biggest hurdle to home fitness? For most of us, it's a lack of space and cash, right? The FitPlan 5-in-1 attacks this barrier directly. Is essentially a budget-friendly, space-saving starter kit that completely prioritizes versatility over speed. Because it utilizes this manual screw and lock mechanism instead of those, super expensive quick dial systems you see on the high-end stuff, you are fundamentally sacrificing the convenience of speed for extreme cost efficiency. It's a calculated compromise. Moving on to Section 2, what makes it great? Let's look at the major pros of this system. Think about it. Buying a full set of standard gym weights, dumbbells going up to 70 or 90 pounds, a barbell, a kettlebell, that would easily cost you hundreds of dollars and literally dominate an entire corner of your living room or garage. The FitPlam 5-in-1 set gives you that exact same functional arsenal for a fraction of the cost. And remarkably, the whole shebang packs away into a footprint of less than 2 square feet. Honestly, it's a massive money and space saver. And that 5-in-1 versatility, it's highly practical in real life. The system easily transitions between standard dumbbells, a barbell, a kettlebell, and even push-up stands. But the real standout feature here is the barbell setup, which uses a foam-padded connecting bar. This simple little touch genuinely makes heavy back squats, hip thrusts, and overhead presses so much more forgiving on your neck and shoulders, compared to, resting a raw steel bar directly on your back. Now, another brilliant feature is the upgraded double nut security. Look, one of the biggest, most common complaints with cheap adjustable weights is that the spin lock collars loosen mid-set. That causes the plates to rattle annoyingly or, way worse, slide off entirely. This upgraded dual locking nut system drastically reduces those risks. It directly addresses that terrifying possibility of a heavy plate slipping off and practically rearranging your face during a chest press. It is absolutely a vital safety upgrade. Finally, for the pros, we have the floor-friendly plates. Instead of raw, clanging iron, these weights are encased in a smooth polyethylene plastic shell. And let me tell you, this specific design choice is an absolute lifesaver for apartment dwellers. If you accidentally set them down a bit too hard, you're not going to shatter your floor tiles, and you won't make this massive, echoing racket that infuriates your downstairs neighbors. All right, let's slow things down a bit for Section 3. Downsides you must consider. These are the harsh realities of the design. Okay, the absolute biggest drawback here is the tedious, slow weight change process. To adjust your load, you've got to manually unscrew the nuts, add or remove your plates, and then meticulously screw those nuts back on. If you're doing a fast-paced HIIT workout or running drop sets, having to stop for 3 to 5 minutes just to rebuild your dumbbells, yeah, that will completely ruin your momentum, let your heart rate drop, and absolutely kill your pump. Then there are the physical limitations. First up is the bulky design. Because these plates are filled with a cement and iron sand mixture instead of dense solid steel, they are physically larger. This makes the dumbbells feel kind of awkward, long, and bulky during tight movements like close grip bicep curls. Second, the inexact kettlebell setup. Using a dumbbell handle attached to a vertical stand just doesn't mimic the exact weight distribution of a solid iron kettlebell. As a result, high-velocity kettlebell swings can feel distinctly clunky. Which brings us to a very crucial warning. Do not drop these weights. I literally cannot stress this enough. These are made exclusively for controlled home workouts. If you lift heavy and you have a habit of dropping your weights from shoulder height onto the floor after a grueling bench press, this is absolutely not the set for you. The plastic casing and the internal concrete mixture will eventually crack under that kind of impact. All right, let's pivot to section 4. Pro tips for your workout. Here's how to actually maximize this equipment. Pro tip number 1 is to plan your workouts. Smart workout structuring is the ultimate hack to avoid the frustration of those constant, slow weight changes. Structure your routine so you do all your heavy barbell exercises first, then change the setup exactly once for your medium dumbbell exercises, and finish your session with your light accessories. Your efficiency here is entirely in the planning. Pro tip 2, check the nuts every single set. Look, even with that fantastic upgraded dual nut security system we praised earlier, physics still happens. Vibrations occur. Taking merely 2 seconds to give those collars a quick twist and double-check the locks before lifting a weight over your head or body is a mandatory safety habit. You just have to build it. And pro tip 3 is to mind the width. The crucial point here is spatial awareness. Because the bars are necessarily long to accommodate multiple plates, you need to keep your movements wide and controlled. Visualizing your path during exercises like chest presses will prevent those long dumbbell ends from awkwardly crashing together at the top of your rep. Finally, section 5. Should you buy it? Let's get to the final verdict. You really have to weigh your own lifestyle directly against the equipment's capabilities here. Buy it if you're a beginner or an intermediate lifter doing steady strength training in a tight space, and you honestly don't mind taking rest breaks. But you should absolutely skip it if you're an advanced powerlifter who drops weights, or if you love fast-paced cross-training where rapid weight adjustments are just essential to your routine. Which leaves us with this final thought. Take a real look at your own workout style and ask yourself, is this 5-in-1 versatility and incredible cost savings really worth the 5-minute setup time for your specific fitness goals? Ultimately, you have to decide whether your budget or your demand for convenience is going to rule your home gym setup. Thank you so much for joining me to break this down today. Keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.